Well, here we are.
Hello everyone and welcome back to a very special video on my channel. This video marks my 30th video and the crowd goes wild. It doesn't seem like a really big accomplishment, but 30 videos is a lot of videos for someone who's just doing this for fun. There's been a lot of growth in my channel from where I started with editing my videos and the content to where they are now, and I'm really proud of the progress that is made. But for this video, I wanted to do something that I haven't done on this channel, and I wanted to do a Q&A with questions submitted by you. So, grab your tea, your coffee, whatever beverage you'd like, and let's get into it. What did you eat for breakfast? So for breakfast, I had a cup of coffee and I had some mini quiches. How tall are you? I am 5'8¼ at least the last time I checked. Introvert or extrovert? I would consider myself more of an introvert until I'm comfortable in my surroundings and who I'm with. That I'm very, very outgoing and very, very extroverted. So it's like a situational extrovert, if that makes sense. Who's your favorite music artist? What's your favorite song? And what's in your Spotify top songs? So I would say my favorite music artist is probably the Jonas Brothers. My favorite song, I don't really necessarily have a favorite song because I listen to all types of music and I listen to music all the time. So there's not necessarily one in particular that is like my favorite. But I would say right now, one that I've listened to a few times on repeat is Snap by Rosalind, because I'm trying to learn it on the guitar. And then what's on my top Spotify songs? All right, let's go open Spotify. And we'll go to my 2022 Wrapped top songs. Now, the first one on here is not really mine. Brett and I were sharing a Spotify this year, and so that top song is definitely his. I've never heard of it before. We probably share the second one, As It Was by Harry Styles. That's probably both. We listen to that a lot, each of us. So I think the first one that's on this list that's probably truly mine is gonna be What a Time. All right, what was your favorite TV show when you were a kid, and what's your favorite TV show? So when I was a kid, my favorite TV show was Arthur, though as I got older, it became SpongeBob. And then what's my favorite TV show? I would have to say Grey's Anatomy, just because I've been a long Grey's Anatomy fan, but I'm also really interested right now in 911, and I have been watching Once Upon a Time from the beginning on Disney+. Have you seen Breaking Bad? No. Favorite movie? She's the Man. Hands down. Quoted all the time. All the time. And when I close my eyes, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly. We're done. What's your favorite brand? Well, that's a very broad question. There's lots of different brands of things that I like. My favorite brand of clothing is Torrid. My favorite brand of makeup, I have a lot of Tarte Cosmetics and Urban Decay. My favorite brand of toilet paper is Kirkland. So it's a very broad question. If you have a specific item you're looking for my favorite brand, comment below. I'll definitely get back to you on that answer. What's your favorite thing to do? My favorite thing to do is probably anything that's related to allowing me to be creative. So I really love making these videos. I really love editing. I've just started learning. I have an embroidery kit. I'm learning how to do that. I got a crochet kit for Christmas that I'm excited to try. Just anything that allows me to be creative is I really, really like to do. Single? Last I checked, no. How much do you love your husband? I love my husband a lot. He's great. When was your first kiss? Spill the tea on your first kiss. Well, honey. To some surprise, my first kiss was actually when I was 25. You know, it wasn't on the top of my priority list when I was in high school or in college. And the tea on my first kiss, I'm gonna be honest, there's not a lot of tea to spill because it wasn't that memorable of a kiss, because I can't even tell you when it was, where it was, but it was at least good enough for us to get married. Do you have any cute friends for me? I have more single girlfriends than I do guy friends. Hit me up if you want some details. Celebrity crush. I would say my celebrity crush right now, oh gosh. Probably right now my celebrity crush would be Kevin Jonas. Would you leave your significant other for a celeb? Yes. I'm sorry, Brett. But if Kevin Jonas were to knock on the door and say, run away with me, I would. And only because I know that's not really gonna ever happen. I know he's happily married too. Craziest pickup line that worked. There has been no pickup lines that have ever worked. So unfortunately, I don't know. If you have a really good pickup line, comment down below and I'll let you know if it would have worked for me. What is Brett's biggest pet peeve and how often do you use it against him? Brett is the most laid back, easygoing guy that if he has pet peeves, either keeps them very quiet to himself or they're just not ones that I do. So I asked him this question and he said his pet peeve is loud chewers. Do you want kids eventually? The answer to this is probably. We're still very young in our marriage and it's not high on our to-do list is to have kids. There is a lot of pressure when it comes to getting married and having kids because that's always the question that gets asked. There's lots of conversations that happen behind closed doors that we don't share with others about having kids in our future. So we'll see. I think the answer is yes, but you never know. Would you ever have a crazy aunt on one of your videos, maybe with her crazy sister-in-law? Yes, absolutely, of course. Who do you miss the most? Well, there's definitely a lot of people that I miss. Moving away from all your friends to a place where you have to make new friends is hard. So I would say that there's two friends that come to mind. My friends Katie and Brittany, who I don't even talk to both of them as much as I really should, but they were just great friends to me. I also really miss my brother. I don't get to see him much. I will get to see him a few days after this video gets posted. What is one pet you'd get other than your dog? Well, fun fact, I also have guinea pigs. We have two, Maddie and Molly. But other than that, if I had to pick, I would probably say like a bearded dragon or some sorts. Does Titus hog the bed? Yes, absolutely. Him and Brett, actually. I don't get very much of the bed. All right, so we have who's a better dancer, me or Brett, and who's a better dancer between Brett and Titus? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. Would you rather be a land, sea, or air animal and why? I think I would rather be an air animal because you'd get to see more things. You'd get to have a farther out perspective of the world. I'm not a great swimmer, so I wouldn't want to be a sea animal, and I already kind of live on the land, so it'd be cool to see a different perspective of the land that we live on. Opinion on birds. I mean, they're fine. I don't have any issues with birds. I'm not a big fan of like crows, and they're always like surrounding the house, which is weird to me. Do you ever think about having the ability to teleport? Yes, I think that would be cool. If you were a superhero, what powers would you have? would you want to have? Well, probably the ability to teleport or to fly. Those would be cool. I also think the ability to be invisible. You wild for what you did. Thanks. The longest time you've ever gone without showering? Probably about a week. But even like with working from home, because I don't get out much, there's been some times where it's very busy, lots of things to do, and it's just not on the top of my list of things. And then eventually I'm gonna go, it's been a few days since I've showered, hasn't it? And then I shower. So, but don't worry, if we're ever gonna hang out in person, I will shower before we hang out. What's the oldest item of clothing you own? Now it says that I own. This item doesn't fit me anymore. I have a jacket from marching band that I think we got when I was in 9th grade, so that would have been like 2008 time frame. Most embarrassing thing you've done? Well, because I'm so much of an introvert, I try not to put myself in situations where I'm going to embarrass myself. I will say something embarrassing that happened to me recently is I was at work and we were getting a tour of the factory with some of my coworkers, and I ran my arm into a door. It made a loud noise, my arm bruised. Everyone's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And it hurt. I guess another embarrassing thing that I've done, I have recently, I think we did have some friends over. I think we were having like a party at the house. When I say party, there were like probably 6 of us here. Woohoo! And we were all like having a great conversation, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I just held it too long, and I peed a little bit on the couch before I made it to the bathroom. But thankfully it was like my house. We were at my house. It was my couch, so I didn't really care that much. But that was a little embarrassing. The weirdest trend you've done? I've done some TikTok dances. I do have a TikTok, so I think anything that's on my TikTok is probably weird, a weird trend maybe, I don't know. Who's your last IG search? Why? Instagram. All right, let's go to my Instagram. So my last Instagram search is JoJo Siwa. This was a few days ago. So I know someone, I don't think this person watches my videos, and if they do, you know who you are, who posted that they were on a cruise with JoJo Siwa, and so my immediate thought was, JoJo Siwa's on a cruise? So I wanted to verify, because that's what I do, and so I went and looked at her Instagram story at the time, and she did, in fact, post things from her cruise. So I know someone who was on a cruise with JoJo Siwa recently. Who's the last girl you texted? The last girl I texted was my mom. Would you rather work from home or in the office? I rather do both. I don't think I could ever really go back into an office full time, but it would be nice to be able to go into an office every once in a while, or to just be able to connect with coworkers so you get the sense of belonging. That's the one thing. I've been working from home since the pandemic, and that's really the one thing that I just miss the most. Top 5 vacation spots on your bucket list. I don't necessarily know 5 spots, but I have like 5 top vacation plans. Top on my list is probably to go to either Australia or New Zealand. Second, I would probably say an Alaskan cruise. Another spot would be Red Rocks, the Pacific Northwest. And then probably lastly, and something that I'm actually working on, is visiting all the baseball stadiums, the Major League Baseball stadiums. What was the best day so far this year? It's been a good year overall, I would say, but I can't necessarily think of a particular day. We had a long weekend, if we'll count that. Our trip to St. Louis was really fun. Do you think they made the right call removing Ned from the Try Guys? I do think they made the right choice. You know, if they're gonna uphold themselves to standards, and if someone goes against those standards, then I would expect them to be removed. I mean, it's just like any other job, where if you do something that goes against their values or their code of conduct, you're gonna get fired from a job. So it's just unfortunate that they weren't able to salvage any like brand deals that they may have had or videos. Do you eat or drink soup? I eat soup. What's your go-to drink when going out? It's probably a rum and coke, unless we go to Norton's on Fridays when they have 350 Bacardis, and it's gonna be Dragonberry Bacardi with Sprite. Out of all the bourbons you've been forced to, tasted, which was your favorite? So fun fact, me and my friend Brittany have been completing the Kentucky Bourbon Trail and the Kentucky Craft Bourbon Trail, which is really just traveling throughout the state of Kentucky, visiting different distilleries. So I know a lot of information about bourbons. Out of all the distilleries that we've been to though, I will say I think my favorite isn't a bourbon, it's a whiskey, and it's gonna be Wild Turkey's American Honey. Now the reason why that's considered a whiskey versus bourbon is because for it to be bourbon, it can't be mixed with any added flavors, and the American Honey is mixed with honey. So as soon as you put a flavor in, it is no longer considered a bourbon, it's a whiskey. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? I really don't know about weird foods. I'm so basic. I stick to chicken and French fries. I have had shrimp. Well, that's a little weird for me. Out of all the foods you don't like, what would be the one you would try? So I don't like a lot of foods, but out of all the foods that I don't like, I would be willing to try more seafoods. Yes, I know I said I've had shrimp. I didn't necessarily like it, but I'm thinking more like salmon or grouper's really big down here. How many licks does it actually take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? Well, I don't have one with me, and I've never actually counted, but I'm gonna say 762. Seems like a good answer. All right, and then my most asked questions are, what's my biggest fear? My biggest fear is probably fear of the dark. One thing you can't survive without. You know, there's a lot of like materialistic things that I can't survive without. I would probably say that I can't survive without my husband. He's gonna make a face when he hears this. You know, yes, I've lived a long time without him, but in this current day and age, if all was lost in the world, I would be very content if it was just me, if I had him left. And I can hear all the people in the background going, "Aww," or I apologize. All right, everyone, so that concludes this Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope your questions got answered. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I am pretty much an open book for the most part. Until next time, bye.